everyone, and welcome. My name is Shelley Bueller, and I serve as chair of Washburn University Board of Regents. It's great to have you all here this afternoon. It is my great honor to be here today as we celebrate Dr. Jerry Farley and his historic 25 years of service as Washburn University president. We are joined by a number of regents, faculty, staff, alumni, and community leaders, elected officials, and well-wishers from all over. As you can tell just by looking around here today, Dr. Farley's impact extends well beyond the campus of Washburn University. His impact extends to generations of families whose lives have been touched by Washburn. It extends to anybody with an interest in education in our region, and all of us devoted to providing opportunities to the next generation of students. And it extends to everybody invested in Topeka and Kansas at large, because Washburn University is such a key institution to our community, and Dr. Farley has been practically synonymous with Washburn for the last quarter century. She also asked me to read aloud the following message, which she signed under official seal of the state of Kansas. Dr. Farley, yes. A proclamation by the Governor of Kansas, whereas Dr. Jerry Farley is retiring from the presidency of Washburn University as the longest-serving leader in the history of the university after 25 years of dedicated service. And whereas Dr. Farley's leadership, Washburn University was returned to its historical roots as a residential campus offering a vibrant student life in addition to an outstanding education. And whereas the Washburn University Institute of Technology was integrated into Washburn University, thereby expanding the availability of technical education in degree, certificate, and apprentice programs in an ever-expanding range of fields which are essential for the continued growth of the state of Kansas. And whereas graduates of Washburn University have made outstanding contributions in communities throughout Kansas, the nation, and around the globe. And whereas under Dr. Farley's leadership, Washburn University has attracted students from over 50 states and more than 60 foreign countries. And whereas Dr. Farley has overseen 23 major construction projects during his time at Washburn, including 3 new student resident halls, a major renovation and expansion of both Stouffer Science Center and Morgan Hall, the addition of new arts, student spaces, and athletic venues, a new home for the KBI Forensic Science Center, and a new building for the law school. And whereas Dr. Farley has been the face of the university, establishing lasting, mutually beneficial relationships throughout the region. Now, therefore, I, Laura Kelly, Governor of the state of Kansas, do hereby proclaim October 1st, 2022 as Dr. Jerry Farley Day in the state of Kansas. And I urge all citizens to join in this celebration.
I don't think I am privileged to be able to fix any of your parking tickets.
Thanks so much to Governor Laura Kelly and to all of you helping us celebrate the first Dr. Jerry Farley Day in the state of Kansas. How exciting. In a quarter century. Also joining us today is Kansas Attorney General Dietrich Schmidt, who has worked so closely with Dr. Farley in advancing criminal justice and legal careers through Washburn University. Please welcome Attorney General Dietrich Schmidt.
Well, thank you. I was a little worried we weren't going to quite make it today. I apologize, Dr. Farley, I didn't have time to properly dress for the occasion. But just imagine I have my bow tie on and it'll be fine. But we sure wanted to be here today just to say a couple of words. Everybody here knows that Jerry Farley has been a very special leader for this our state. It's why you're here. And from my vantage point, I would just say, I'll share with you a little story, and it just, I think, sort of makes the whole point. We've had a lot of interaction with Washburn from the Attorney General's office, at least in the almost 12 years I've had the opportunity to serve there. We have a number of our attorneys who have been adjunct faculty at the law school. We always have a lot of interns from Washburn or law clerks, either from the law school or for the criminal justice program. So we've had a number of ties, but perhaps our closest came early in my tenure, midway through Dr. Farley's quarter century of service here. We're going to keep reminding folks of that. Has a nice ring to it. We were early on, about 12 years ago, we were assessing needs of the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, which is an affiliated agency of the Office of the Attorney General. And we ultimately reached the now obvious conclusion, but at the time it didn't seem as obvious, that the only way to fix some of the bottlenecks in our evidence processing capacity in the KBI laboratory system was to actually fix those problems. It was a capacity bottleneck, and there was no other way around it. And that required us to construct a new headquarters forensic science laboratory for the KBI. We had been, since the mid-1980s, operating a forensic science lab, flagship lab in the KBI system, which serves, in many ways, every law enforcement agency in the state, and certainly everyone outside of Johnson and Sedgwick County, which have their own facilities. We had been operating out of the remodeled basement of a 1920s era middle school that had window air conditioners because the HVAC system was so strained, underpaying our scientists and then wondering why it was we couldn't retain enough talent. And it was a great testament to the men and women who did choose to be there for an extended period that we were not competitive in the national talent marketplace. And we ultimately concluded that to fix that problem, we had to do two things. We had to have new bricks and mortar because we simply weren't competitive with the physical plant that we had. And we had to have some way to give added compensation and added prestige to those scientists that we wanted to come work with us and to remain with us for a career. And ultimately concluded the way to get there was a partnership with the university. Partnership that led to the construction of the new KBI Forensic Science Center here on campus, and the partnership that led to the creation of a new forensic science training program and degree that's now producing students who are predominantly Kansas kids that want to grow up and do this work, and we can keep them in Kansas, and they are our interns, and we now have, I think, our second class of graduates, if I'm not mistaken, coming out of that program, providing us a pipeline of local Kansas talent that is sustainable for us. And by the way, now our scientists that we recruit have the option in many cases of becoming adjunct or otherwise faculty members at Washburn. They get a little extra prestige, they get a little extra pay, it makes us more competitive in that national marketplace. It was the right model. But the question was, it's been talked about many times over the years, the question was, is this the time to get it done? And I'll never forget sitting in my office at evening. It was after hours, it was around 7 if I'm not mistaken. And finally we got Dr. Farley on the phone, and he and I had this discussion. And I was very comfortable asking if this partnership might work, because like you, I knew Dr. Farley, and I knew his ability to put parts together and make the numbers work and turn a concept into a reality. And ultimately I just said, can we do this? And he said, I think so. And that led to a $50-some million investment on this campus, a new education program for our kids. We came in on time and under budget, by the way. Dr. Farley, thank you for that. That is one of the many legacies you will leave, not just for this campus and this community, but for this state. And for that, I am very grateful. And that is why, despite the absence of a bow tie, I wanted to be here today to thank you very much. So thanks, everybody, for recognizing one of our own.
We are also honored that the Kansas legislature took time out of its busy schedule to recognize Dr. Farley and his tremendous legacy. To share a tribute from the Kansas State Senate, I'm happy to introduce Senator Brenda Dietrich.
I'm going to get off the table and I'll ask Dr. Farley to join me. So, Dr. Farley, you're making me feel so young. I haven't had a quarter century of anything, I don't think. So, the Kansas Senate, I'm in the Senate now, but I first moved to Topeka in 2021. Or 2021, I wish, 2001, as superintendent of the Auburn Washburn School District. And one of the first people I met was Dr. Farley here at Washburn University. And I had a great conversation with him. He had this lovely bow tie on. But everywhere I went in Topeka, Dr. Farley was there. It was like the Energizer Bunny. You were everywhere. And so I finally decided I need to get to know him better. So we had some wonderful conversations and partnerships with Wash Tech, and many other things. So this tribute is to commend Dr. Farley on his most remarkable career, not only at Washburn University, but his involvement in our community. He has made Topeka and Shawnee County a great place to live, to work, to get an education, to raise your family. He's touched everything. And so this tribute does mention you're the longest serving president of Washburn University. Sorry, it does say that. But it's your vision and your leadership that have significantly impacted the university, its expansion, its stature. Everything you have touched has given credit to yourself and this community and this institution. We thank you for that. And lastly, I would just say you leave a legacy of dedication, innovation, engagement, love of community, and an elementary school named after you, Farley Elementary. Kind of rings a bell, doesn't it? Thank you for all you've done, for your friendship, your partnership, your collaboration, everything good that you have touched. It's been an honor to know you, and I'm glad you're not leaving the community, and we wish you well in retirement. Thank you. We might just take a quick picture.
Thank you. And finally, we are also honored to be joined by Mayor Michael Padilla, who will say a few words on behalf of the city of Topeka.
They saved me for last because Shelley wanted to make sure I had a full half hour to say No, I won't try to do that. But I am going to go a little off script, if I may, and I'm trying to find in the room Susan Farley. Where is she? Susan, will you join us up here? I'm doing this for a specific reason. Many years ago, maybe I can start to take some of the weight off your shoulders on this. About constantly referring to 25 years. In my 45 years of law enforcement, so it makes it take a little weight of that off. When it came time for my colleagues and friends and family and citizens of Topeka to thank me for being a part of their community, I started a tradition there because typically you got a choice of a watch or a plaque, all those kinds of things. And when they asked me what I wanted, when the chief asked me what I wanted, I said, well, to be honest with you, I've got a good watch. Kind of running out of room for plaques. But what I would really like is for the department at that time to acknowledge my partner in all those years. my wife, and my son and my daughter. So at that time, I asked them to present them at my retirement party with that honorarium, so they all received recognition and a plaque for their service. I still feel very strongly about that. Dr. Farley, you have been so interlocked with this community, but you've always had somebody there with you. You've always had that partner. And that partner makes it even more fun. You know you enjoy it, but when you can bring your partner with you all the time, I think that really is significant. And I think people saw that in you as part of your character and as how you serve this community. So, when I read this recognition, I want the people here to understand that is definitely my intent, is that I acknowledge everything that he has done, and I acknowledge that he has had the support from his wife, Susan, and from the community for everything that you've done. And if I may read, in recognition of Dr. Jerry Farley, it is my pleasure to honor the achievements of Dr. Jerry Farley as he retires from his position as president of Washburn University, here we go, after more than 25 years of dedicated leadership. Under his direction, Washburn University has cited numerous times as one of the crown jewels of Topeka. That really is true. And Jerry Farley and his city have become inexorably and permanently joined in the hearts and minds of Topekans. Jerry Farley has helped lead a renaissance in the entire community with developments and improvements in both the academic programs as well as that of the Washburn University and Washburn University Institute of Technology campuses. He has positioned the institution for continued excellence in higher education in Topeka and has touched and improved the lives of generations of students and their families. Finally, Jerry and Susan Farley have become the true members of the Topeka community and have made their home here permanently in Topeka. In witness thereof, I do hereby affix my official signature and the official seal of the state of Topeka, Kansas on this first day of October 2022. Congratulations, Dr. Farley. Presenting you, Dr. Farley, with a coin acknowledging your service, and one for you, Susan, as well, because of your service alongside Dr. Farley. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce the man himself, Dr. Jerry Farley.
Hello, everyone. Hello. This is really a great day, and I appreciate the fact that you would come, take your time away from your weekend or other things that you're doing, or going down to South Kansas. But you decided you would come right here, and we appreciate that. Thank you for all those kind things they said. I hope we recorded that because I want that to be my obituary. This is really an emotional occasion for Susan and I. Well, we are not Ichabods by birth. We have come to view Washburn and all the great supporters as friends. You've heard her do this in public sometimes and often in private. Susan gives me candid, often too candid critiques of my performance. Just today, she told me, quote, "Don't try to be witty, charming, or intellectual. Just be yourself." And definitely be brief. We've been married now for 36 years. Similar to you, we have developed routines and traditions that we have in our lives. One of those is to get more time together And what we can do, if we're in town, and if we have the time to do it and no other events, we make pancakes on Saturday. I love pancakes. Well, that's not quite right. Actually, I love syrup. And it looks a bit weird when you just drink down the syrup. And Susan makes the pancakes, and I read the newspaper. That's sort of us making pancakes, isn't it? After several years, I noticed that her process was inefficient. It took too long to make the pancakes. So I pointed out to her a few things that would help her improve and recommended a few improvements that I was certain would be an improvement. And I was right. I was right. Right now, she doesn't have to make any pancakes. And I get my pancakes faster. It is, there was an opportunity for me, and I thought it was a big deal. And it may not have been here in Kansas or in Topeka, but down in Oklahoma, this was news. Well, at least it was news in my hometown. My hometown was one of a very small farming community. It was known as Tipton in southwest Oklahoma between Frederick and Altus. And it boasted a population of 1,000 souls, if you didn't count the domestic animals. My appointment was front page news in the Tipton Tribune. Well, you couldn't tell really. It was either the front or the back. It was the news. Together, here at Washburn, we've accomplished a lot. But it isn't me. All of the faculty and staff, all of the students commit themselves as well. I look out my window at the office in the summertime and I see the landscapers out there making the campus look great, edging the sidewalks, doing the things that make it better. And I look around the table in the office, and there's wayfarer baskets that have been empty. Thank goodness, because there was a banana beetle in there. But I've been honored to play a small role in what it takes to make all those things that people have been saying actually come true. I've thought about some of the things that I would like to make sure we continue with. I'll list a few of them right now. First of all, making tech part of Washburn. That was a great achievement in my field. So students can get a certificate, and if they want to continue, they can continue to an associate's or to a baccalaureate degree. We have a number of them that choose that. The relationship that we have with Kansas Bureau of Investigation. Thank you for helping us and let us help you. That was a spectacularly good decision on all of our part. The forensics programs have grown dramatically on campus. And I'm sure that they are providing candidates for jobs with KBI. Obviously, the addition of the residence halls changed the character of the university. We wanted to engage the students in all kinds of ways. We also wanted to engage Topeka and businesses here in Topeka. So we take pride in the fact that we are helping in some ways to recruit businesses to come to Topeka. A new law school building is underway and will be completed sometime between December and January, we think. And I look forward to that because that is a premier program here at Washburn University. I hope that I'm invited back for the ribbon cutting. It's a great, great project. Now you know that I am an accountant by training. Finance and accounting was my undergraduate programs. And I'm proud to say, absolutely proud to say, we always have a balanced budget and that we never had terminations or furloughs during even the fire's days. I will miss many parts about being at Washburn, such as walking across the campus and talking with students. Sometimes it surprises them, but I love to just welcome them and urge them on in their classes. Another great thing that I love is commencement ceremonies. That's the most fun we have as administrators or as regents or others, commencement ceremonies. I like actually working with the legislature. I'm still working to try to get money for Washburn. So, most of all, and most people will say this when they change jobs, I miss my colleagues, or I will miss them. They do great work. The cadre we have now continues on from colleagues that I've had for 25 years. One person I think never could be replaced, and first thing I know, we found somebody that's good. And one of those is here tonight, or this afternoon, that came, and she started the entire project to revitalize students when we built the Living Learning Center. Denise Otter, right back here. Another person I want to single out, and he is basically the reason I'm here, and that's Tom Ellis, right back here. Tom has been a long time employee here and a student here at Washburn. And he came into my office one day and said, I think there's a job advertisement that you might be interested in. And so he gave me some materials. I was not interested in being a president. I had my dream job. And so somehow that material kind of fell in the wastebasket basket. Well, he was persistent. He came back a couple of weeks later and said, what'd you think of that? And I go, I misplaced it. And so I applied. And they had a big barrel of applicants that wanted to come here. And when they got down to the bottom, I was there. And it was the best thing, the best decision that I have ever made. I am grateful for the opportunity to assist the university in any way I can with international students, because that's a particularly of interest to me. I am honored. I'm grateful to serve as president of Washburn University. This is the highest honor I've ever had. Well, that's not quite true. I had another smaller honor when I was elected president of my third grade class for the second time. I hope that you feel good about what's happening at Washburn and about the state of the university. Washburn is a good place and will continue to thrive. Thank you for the opportunity to serve these few years. Thank you for coming out today. We treasure you as friends. I see not a person in the room that I don't think that we're friends with. So thank you. Let's go out and win a football game today against welcome this afternoon. And now today I say goodbye this afternoon.